It's been a minute since I've done anything new on this channel. Please know it wasn't necessarily on purpose. And I'm about to just fill you in quickly on why. But first, I just wanted to say hello to everyone who might be watching this, whether it's live or replay. But today is July 20th. And pretty sure it's been about 2 months since I've put anything new on this channel, maybe a little over that. So if y'all weren't aware, I was gone for about almost 2.5 weeks for a big old trip that my family, we've been saving for this for over 8 years. So it's kind of on the epic end of the scale. But we went to Japan, uh, complete recreational, personal, no business, nothing. I mean, just disengage and just experience, and it was amazing. Um, I will have some pictures. Maybe I'll make a little montage or something to show you all, so you can just see. But it was a super awesome trip. So many cool experiences. While we were there, about a week in, I think, got notified that my dad had been taken to the emergency room and subsequently was evaluated and that found out he had a mild heart attack. You know, you're overseas, like literally across the globe. I mean, I could have dug a hole maybe and come out on the Denver side, but um, finding that out was a bit like, whoa, dude. I mean, nobody wants to get that call, that notification. I have to say, I'm very fortunate. We live my dad lives about 40 minutes from my house, maybe half hour, with my stepmom who has Parkinson's, and she's completely reliant upon him and on their assisted living facility. So, with him going to the hospital, that just threw everything in an uproar. So, thankfully, we have family too. I've got an amazing stepsister and her family. My other stepsister's family as well. My brother and his wife live in Utah, but they were all in on it too. My mom, actually, I was pinging her a little bit because while she and my dad are no longer married, she's our medical expert in the family. Like, so I was like, Mom, and of course she still cares about him, they're friends and all this stuff. So all that was going on. And so I'm basically, again, with the time difference being so weird. So we were waking up on our own, like no alarms needed, like 5 a.m. in Japan. Just with the time difference, that's kind of where we landed. And so I usually call my dad by 6 a.m. my time in Japan, which was like mid-afternoon for him in Denver. So I try to just like, hey, either text or call him. And I tried to do that every day. And then once we got to wherever we were going to be that night, between 9 and 10 p.m., I would text or call him or my stepsister again, just to kind of be like, how are things? Because by that time, that they're just waking up. So that was how I stayed in touch. I did not fly home. I thought about it and I was talking to my stepsister about it a few times and like, should I come home? She's like, no, no, no. Once he got evaluated, he had to get some stents put in. He had a 99% blocked artery. And y'all, my dad is an incredibly healthy guy. Like he hasn't been on any medications. He is 76 years old. He doesn't take daily medications other than multivitamins. That's all different. And I'm only telling you the first part. So that all was happening while we were in Japan. So I didn't fly back. Everything seemed fine. I got back into town and he had been discharged. And so, I go and see him right away. Well, guess what? 4 days later, he developed a fever. And anytime you get surgery, they always tell you in discharge, hey, make sure that you call us because you shouldn't be having a fever. That could mean you have an infection from being in the hospital and having surgery and having incisions and whatnot. Um, well, he was also on oxygen because basically the whole gameplay was that he was going to need to go back in the hospital no matter what in about a month because he also had a leaky heart valve and that was going to need to get repaired. So we knew this was ahead, but this whole fever thing kind of threw things into an uproar. He also had to stay on oxygen because his oxygen was dipping below the 90s. And so, for any of you who know, you do not want your oxygen to go below 90 because that means your body is not getting adequate oxygen and things start just fucking up. So he had to get medically transported back to the ER. Well, he got admitted, and a week they're like, okay, well, in a week you're gonna have a major operation, major surgical procedures, not open heart surgery, thank God, like where they crack open your chest, but they the miracles of science, y'all. Go through his armpit basically through a hole here and then a hole down here, and then I think by his groin, and then they go in and fix everything. but that was gonna have to be in a week. So he was in the hospital for a week, getting off of blood thinners because you don't want that if you're going to surgery. Had the surgery, recovered for a week, got discharged, went back to the ER that night because of some other thing that was going wrong, but then got discharged again because it was like, okay, actually, you're fine. Um, it's been a ride, y'all. Basically came right back from Japan and slam into this stuff. And so it's been up until about last week. It's been me seeing him, visiting him in the hospital, or driving the 30 minutes out to his assisted living place every day or every other day. And finally we get to like, okay, it's about once a week. Now, what is this week? I'm still going to see him twice. I have to see him at his cardiologist or his surgeon follow up. And then the next day, we're having another call about just kind of like their care plan and stuff. So it's just been a lot. And the reason why am I telling you all this? Because I want to tell you, A, that's a big reason why I haven't been back on the channel. B, I did want to tell you I am going to be back on the channel. I was doing a really robust approach to all the videos that I was putting up on the channel. And by the way, I'm coming around to getting to comments. I see the Substack videos seem to be very popular. So I'm going to go in and comment on those because I saw there were some questions and things that people had about publishing on Substack, which I'm going to continue doing. But I am going to do a video per week, one per week. And that's what I can do with my bandwidth. So, and also because I still have this quasi part-time job of my dad's care. He's going to take at least 3 months to get to feeling normal, and the full recovery over this heart procedure and stuff is a year. So I got to keep my schedule a little bit open. I know y'all understand. And I again appreciate y'all hanging in. Um, I saw too that we hit 2,000 subscribers on the channel. Again, I this who knows? I don't know. I didn't put any new videos up for over 2 months, and okay, but I've got 2,000 subscribers. Yay! So I appreciate each and every one of you. Whoever the 2,000th person was, I wonder if there's. I'm going to figure out if there's a way I can find out who you are. But thank you so much for subscribing because that means you're seeing stuff that's valuable to you. Um, I'd love it if you comment on this post if you've made it this far, and I will put chapters. Um, if you've if you want to see stuff, and again, remember this is kind of a businessy, marketingy, you know, oriented. It's not an OnlyFans channel, so don't. If you're going to come in the comments, be like, "I'll tell you what I want to see." It was like, "I'm going to divert you over to other apps with other people, other creators." I'm just not here for that. But I would love to hear what you'd like to see and hear on this channel going forward. Why did you subscribe? I would love to hear that. What made you subscribe? What prompted you to subscribe? Is it the fact that you want to point and laugh at my hairstyle? That's fine. I'm 52 years old. I can take it. People might be like, "Oh my god, that's a very young hairstyle for you to have." It's like, yeah, I have the mentality of a 12-year-old. It fits. So of course I should have a young hairstyle. Anyway, but yeah, would love to hear from y'all. Why did you subscribe? What do you want? And if it's in my power to give it to you, I will. I did get feedback too, even on some videos where like, I've got my captions hard coded into it and they're like, or burned into the video and they're like, ah, and I'm like, fair, I get it. I get it. Anyway, appreciate y'all. So you'll see me weekly. And keep it up in the comments and yeah, I'll make what makes sense. And I will forewarn you too, there's going to be some cool podcasting related how to podcast, how to do what I do, which is get paid to host and produce B2B podcasts, which I kind of think's cool. But yeah, appreciate y'all. And with that, I will leave you and wish you the very best day for wherever you are right now. It's July 20th, so half the globe seems to be melting right now. Let's stay cool, people, if that's our intent. All right. Appreciate y'all. I know I've said that many, many times, but I really do. And I'll see you on the next videos. And